This episode may contain strong language and adult themes. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Oh no! Oh, you tit!
You got one.
One fucking job. You have one job.
You absolute knob jockey.
We're not starting that again. You're an absolute tit.
I started the timer.
Oh yeah, half a job. Honestly, I think right from now on you will be known as half a job.
Half a job.
Bob.
Half a job. Half a job, Bob. Half a job, Bob. So, Quicks, from now on, Mike is known as half a job, Bob. All right? And if you see it round the wrong way, it will come out as half a blow job, Bob.
Oh, anyway.
Who wasn't on the record that he was focusing on his head too much.
Welcome back to 22 Dropouts on the second part of the show. Well, it was now the first part because our best friend of, or whatever you want to call him, half a job Bob, Mike Mulroy, just decided to press record again. So just to summarise the first session of the 22 Dropouts, we were talking about the Lions and how awesome the referee team was, and we all agreed that Hamish Watson should never have been carded. It was never a card. And also the fact that that try should never have been a try as well. It was absolutely everything wrong with it.
It should have been 48-0 to the Lions. 48.
Yes.
So welcome to the new part one of tonight's 22 Dropouts. Thank you to my group of friends who normally, within the first 20-30 seconds, ask me if I'm recording the show. And they all fail to remind me tonight. So whilst I'm the big dickhead, they're all little dickheads too.
Well, I'm just sorting myself out because I heard that about.
Are you really? I've heard about you doing that, mate.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, and we've also
sort yourself out, Sam. So how are you doing, half a job, Bob?
I'm very well. And in the first half, we did listen and hear about how you are in the bedroom because it has been rather muggy and humid here, and I got told off for stinking out the bedroom last night. Jules was on his own in his bedroom, so it didn't matter that he stuck out because Jules was in Latvia, weren't you, mate? And you had a bit of beer farting.
I did last night, but the other nights I had maybe one beer. But yeah, it was good. Good tournament. The stadium in Riga, brand new stadium in Riga, only 2 years old. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Fantastic, massive screen with all the fucking replays on it up in the front of the stadium. We could have run a TMO at the ground.
And just remind us what you thought of the Latvian women.
I thought the Latvian women were delightful. All of them. No exception.
I'm still. It's one of those nights. I'm still eating dinner.
Go on, Bert.
So talking about the elephant in the room because that's where we were. And Julian, don't say it, please.
What, my fault?
No. So
the joke's still good the second time round, Sam, because it's only been recorded once. Anyway,
talking about the Lions.
Talking of the Lions, we'll talk about. We'll talk about. No, look, we can come to the Lions in a minute because we did. Daryl managed to do a fantastic segue, so I'm going to give him the opportunity to do it again because Daryl is on holiday at the moment, and this is the view out of Daryl's window. Now, Daryl, that looks again. And Daryl, that looks an awful lot like your driveway in your camper van. What's happened to your holiday?
If you look at this lovely view of the picture now, this was my view when I was on holiday in Cornwall. But my wife and my two children unfortunately caught COVID, and we had to come back home. We're now self-isolating till Friday, and they're well, thank you. I'm recovering, although my wife's lost a sense of smell and taste, which might be a good idea.
We know she didn't have any taste. She married you.
Oh, no, the sense of smell thing was what prompted the chat about our beer fart.
I just had to take it. I had to take it.
You did. It was there on the plate. Well, look, mate, we hope everybody gets well soon. And we're glad you haven't got it.
I'm extremely bored, but there's a lot of rugby to watch on the Olympics.
Thanks to Sam, who's just put in our editorial chat. Mike is now known as Half a Job Bob. The whole universe doesn't know because they all watch our show already. Anyway,
Mike, aren't you also going to tell him, Mike, that you have one job tonight, which was to cook dinner, and what happened?
I'm having a bad night. So I was cooking dinner and the gas ran out on the barbecue, and I'm wondering why it doesn't seem to be getting any more cooked. I eventually realised the gas has run out, run inside and try and cook it all on the griddle in the house instead. So hence, I'm still eating din-dins. So yeah, it's one of those nights. It's nowhere near as bad as the internet in Kenya is, though, for our good friend Quicks, because you're about to learn what it's like to listen to somebody on a Zoom call from where Quicks lives. Hello, Quicks. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
And there you go. That's Kenyan internet for you. Even Lawrence's internet's better, but that may be because he's got a big cock in his garden. You never know. Now, Sam, you were talking to us before I rudely interrupted part one by not recording it. You were talking about the Lions, and it was a game of two halves as far as you're concerned.
It was a game of two halves, and it was a fantastic game of rugby for a spectator. It was either nail-biting or absolutely what the hell was going on in this game. The Lions didn't get off the bus in the first half, and then at half-time, they got off the bus and South Africans, I think, got back on their bus because it was just an absolutely two different halves of rugby. And South Africa couldn't live with the Lions in the second half for the amount of penalties they were giving away because the phase play they were going through. So all they had to do was keep possession, and South Africa were giving penalties away.
Now, there's been a lot made of decisions from the referee team, and in the part one that never was, you thought that the refereeing team were good at the weekend. I
did. I thought they'd done an excellent job. Actually, a good teamwork between the refs and the ARs and the TMO. I mean, a couple of decisions, I thought were one way or the other, but quite happy that Hamish stayed on the park. So I thought he did for the guy being South African, I thought, oh my God, this guy's going to get red carded. Watch this, he's going to miss the rest of the Lions tour. But I think he kind of went, oh look, I'm South African, I've got to kind of find myself in the middle here, and didn't award the try that probably should have been a try because the guy wasn't in front. But go back to the forward pass, alleged forward pass.
Right. So let's take those two separately, because Darryl, you've got an opinion on the Hamish Watson tackle.
Yeah, Hamish Watson tackle, in my view, should have been a yellow card. If you look
shush, man, what you're talking about. It's never a yellow card.
Every day the wording of the law and also the incident, he was taken above the horizontal and he came down on his side. There were no mitigating circumstances. I'm at a loss to understand why it wasn't.
What colour patch do you have on, Jules?
What
colour patch do you have on, Jules?
Hang on a minute. That's a bit random. You just want to know what underwear Julian is wearing.
Patch, eye patch. Jesus.
Eye patch. I thought you said pants.
My eye patch, yeah.
Your internet's as bad as the Kenyans.
My eye patch on the day thought that the Kenyan boy was faking it by jumping and sticking his legs in the air and should be red carded for it. Yeah, jumping in the air, making Hamish Watson's hair look bad. Definitely should be a red card for the South African. However, my referee head goes, that's a bloody yellow card for Watson every day of the week.
Did anybody love it, or did everybody see it when Vunipola picked up the winger when he was lying down saying he'd be touched in the air? Up you get, son. I think you heard the AR going, leave him alone. Don't touch him.
I asked him about it, didn't he? He said, it was just one of those things during the game. I got a bit excited.
Sadly I missed all of that. But the one bit that I did see was this try, no try. In between a couple of my games, I did pop into the ref tent and saw what was on review, or the questions on review were: was there a forward pass in the lead up, and then was the chaser in front of the kick that led to the try?
Yes.
And it went to the TMO. Julian, would you like to talk us through how they decided on their outcome?
I don't get the decision. I don't get the decision, the outcome, what happened there, because they've asked it was a forward pass. It was a bloody forward pass. It was clear as day. And then he was in front of the kicker, from my opinion, from what I've seen. Definitely in front. But it's not foul play, so why didn't they go back for the forward pass and give a scrum, and he gave the fucking penalty?
Because he said the forward pass wasn't a forward pass, he said it was fine for him.
That wasn't fine at all. That was bloody about 3 meters.
No, I agree. It wasn't fine, but they did make a very quick decision that the forward pass wasn't a forward pass, which was the most obvious of any of the potential transgressions there. What did you think of that one, Daryl?
You know, what was more clear and obvious to me was the forward pass.
Yeah.
I think once the try had been given, and was there enough? Was he in front enough to impact? And was there enough evidence for him to override the referee's on-field decision? I don't think there was from the player in front, but I certainly think there was from the forward pass.
No, I tend to agree. From the angles we saw on the TV replay, it was not. There was nothing, like you say, clear and obvious. But the forward pass was incredibly obvious, and I was surprised at how quickly they dismissed it.
Oh, Yonkers did, yeah.
Well, yeah, he did, yeah. But then again, the referee does not have to listen to him.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Anyway, elephant in the room.
Any elephants in the room? Hello, Quicks. Now, Quicks, and if you want to turn your camera off, I'll put some nice photos of you on, because I know what your broadband is like over there. Did you watch any of the Lions this weekend, or were you doing something else within rugby?
No, I was involved in presentations and meetings with other sponsors. Didn't get a chance to watch the game, but I realized I think it was over.
No. Kenya nearly brought it back against USA today, didn't they?
Yeah. Narrow loss. And also to USA and South Africa.
No, I thought Kenya played really well against the USA and came back from 12-0 down to be leading in the second half, 14-12. And then a late try from USA means that the USA progressed to the quarterfinals there. But Kenya, yeah. I thought Kenya, I thought they had a really slow start. But once they got going, they looked really strong. And there was a couple of times where they literally left the USA players in the dirt. I thought they did really well.
Yeah, so I believe now they're up against Ireland, I think tomorrow.
And what time's that on? Your time, do you know?
No, but I'll check shortly. But so apparently, if they need to beat Ireland by a certain margin for them to progress as the third best, number 3, if that's the chance they have of going to the next level.
Great news. We are struggling to hear you tonight, Quick. So we may just go with the option of no video in a little while when we talk about Kenya rugby a bit more. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you right after this. And God help us when we try and do the this or that quiz with Quicks tonight.
When you need clear and concise match official communication systems, look no further than the brand new AXIWE AT350.
Radios they're always useful, they always help us, especially AXIWEs, where all 3 of us can be open at any time and we can have open communication.
Available now from refcomsglobal.net. Investing profits into match official development worldwide.
Welcome back to the real. He's done it again. You just can't keep a good man down, can you, Sam?
Nope. No, you can't, Bob.
No, you can't. But you can keep me down by reminded me that I forgot to press record tonight. So welcome back to the real part 2 of tonight's 22 Dropouts. Don't forget to check us out on our social media channels. Just have a look up there and search at 22 Dropouts. Now, without further ado, Sam wants to talk about the elephant in the room, don't you, Sam?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Go for it.
So, does anybody have an idea or a clue how Erasmus, the director of rugby for South Africa, gets away with being water boy on the pitch?
He's not a coach. He's allowed to be.
He's director of rugby.
Yep, not a coach.
Yep. It's not right, Jules.
It's not right, but it's still allowed.
Yeah.
Daryl, as a professional fourth official here, what's your take on that?
He's not a coach, and they're allowed as long as he wears the vest.
Yeah.
And comes from the technical area. There needs to be
a water carrier.
So technically, what we're saying is that his integrity is completely gone because he's not really being a water boy, is he? Let's be honest. And also, what kind of message is he sending to the players, right? You know, bringing himself down to that kind of thing, to that kind of level and all the rest of it. I've had a lot of chats with South African guys over the weekend, and they're all like, it's just bang out your order. He should not be doing it. It should be another guy. He shouldn't be down on the side of the pitch.
No, we probably all
I think
agree with that.
World Rugby will probably do a clarification or something on this because I don't agree with it at all. Because I know coaches, head coaches for national teams that have actually went up and put their name down on the sheet as being a water boy, and then the match commissioners went, no, you can't be water boy. That's just not on, is it? And they're like, but no, you're not being water boy. It's
but
just
that's the point, isn't it? It's
down
right. To. No, you're right. It isn't down to. It isn't right. And I imagine that everybody on this call, if we asked them, would say that that is wrong. But the point is, according to the technical letter of the law, as he's not a coach, he can do it. He's playing semantics. He's playing with words. He's playing with the laws and the regulations of the game. And no doubt, World Rugby, like they did after James Haskell asking a referee, "What can we do? It tackle only, no ruck." They will clarify the position, and I don't think it'll be too soon before they do that.
Yeah, and it just sends the wrong message out because he's seeing it down on pitch level. He's not seeing it from up in the stands. So maybe the information isn't getting the knowledge from the view.
Him delivering water to the players. So
he wasn't delivering water to the players. He was carrying one bottle.
He had 2 bottles in his hands and he was handing them out to the 2 of the players.
Well, how could he do that? He was scratching his nose with the other one.
No, he wasn't scratching his nose. He's pressing the transmit button on the radio.
Yeah.
What's more concerning is he doesn't have his COVID. He doesn't have his mask on. I thought they should have a mask over their face. So that's not what he's doing on the pitch, but the fact he doesn't put his mask on.
Yeah. I just think it sends the wrong. I know there's no legislation to say that you're not allowed to do it and things like that. I get that. I understand it that way. But I think it absolutely sends the wrong message out and it shouldn't be allowed. It should be deterred completely.
I think we'd all agree with that it shouldn't be allowed, and it does send very much the wrong message. And it's a bit like looking at Quix's video now and thinking he's going to go for a poo-poo.
Sano Umaga does it as well at the Blues games. He's always the water boy. But
really?
Yeah, and he always runs on with like 2 crates of water and hands the water out to all the boys. He fucking loves it. On the pitch, hands the water out, runs back off again.
Well, who's the ex-Welsh guy? It looks like somebody from the Hair Bear bunch.
Oh, Adam Jones.
Adam Jones.
Yeah. No, he's always water boy. You can't tell me he's not.
He's a scrum coach, isn't he? He's a scrum coach as well.
Nobody can understand the bloody word he says. So it's not.
No, that's fine.
Sorry, Adam.
But you're right. Maybe this is something that has to be clarified by World Rugby, international associations, and unions alike. And it needs to be clamped down on because over the last few years, people are taking the piss more and more, aren't they?
It wasn't the first time either because he was doing it. He was doing it for the Georgia game and that as well.
I'd go the other way and just say, let him on.
Okay, so here's another thought, and I'd be interested in getting your opinions on this because, right, look. We know that they are, whether they are in the stands or whether they're running a water bottle up, those people are going to be communicating. They communicate with the physios, and pass messages through the physios. They pass messages through the water boys. And of course, we've had the infamous saga with the talking water bottle with Martin Johnson many years ago, allegedly talking water bottle from Martin Johnson. So I'm going to ask you a bit of a contentious question now. Is there any point in trying to stop something that you really can't stop because they'll always find a way around it?
No, just let them fucking do it. Why not?
Is it detrimental to the game? It's not right, don't get me wrong. And it sends the wrong message, as Simon said. But maybe the message needs to change.
It's professional sport, for God's sake. If the coaches are going to have messages to them, they're going to find a way to do it. If they want to stay up in the stands and do it through the water boy, let them. If they want to come down on the pitch and get a lower level picture on the ground and talk to the players directly during breaks at stoppages when they're allowed on the field, why
it's not sportsmanlike, Jules.
Why not? What's wrong with it?
I think it's naive to think that they're not getting those messages out across the pitch anyway. So,
yeah, I'm not naive on that regard. I know the messages are getting out, but what message does it send out? That you've got the director of rugby, who basically is the head coach. He's just relinquished some of the power, and he's running on the pitch. Clearly, not really being a water boy. He's taking the piss, man.
Yes,
let's be honest,
he's okay. You could argue he's taking the piss, or he's playing the regulations.
Well, yeah, he's
to the fullest advantage.
Yes, okay, but let's be honest, he's taking the piss.
He could be not coaching them on the field, and he could just be running on doing the water, going, I bet they all think I'm coaching you lads.
which is a great sentiment, mate. And I wish that would actually happen, but we all know it's not going to, obviously.
That would be fucking hilarious for me. I'd say, yeah, go for it.
So is this an area that needs to be more regulated then, or less regulated?
Regulated. Take it away. Let them do it.
What do you think, Sam?
I think it needs to be the opposite. I need to think a clarification needs to come out, whether it is for yes or no, but it needs to be clarified, because for me, it sends the wrong message out. It's unsportsmanlike, and it doesn't show the integrity that's part of the core values of the game.
Daryl?
I think you're in danger of, it's just another regulation. I think what you might find is that World Rugby won't deal with it, but Premier Rugby might deal with it, or local competition organisers might deal with it. But
do you see this potentially now that RAS has done this? Do you see this unless somebody comes out and says anything? Do you see this like finding its way into the Six Nations?
No, it's more likely to enter Stowmarket firsts versus Thetford firsts, where the coaches come on as bloody water carriers, and then on the way on have a go at the referee, just like the physios do.
Yeah, and I reckon in Kenya, Quicks comes across this all the time, because they're never going to stay in their technical area. I've seen videos of Kenyan rugby, and it's a bit of a free-for-all on the sidelines, Quicks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great answer, mate. Thanks for that.
It's the same in Sweden. The guys I've run into people on the touchline because they jump so bloody forward. I've actually knocked people over.
Daryl and I do that all the time.
Shoulder.
Oh, I did that once. That was funny as fuck. Dip a shoulder accidentally, run straight into the back of the coach, knock him flying on his ass. Sorry, as you go past.
There used to be a young girl coach at Isha called Emma, I think her name was, went to live in Down Under, and she used to get right behind you and not coach, physio, sorry, get right behind you. She used to give you right, yak. And one day I turned around when I didn't see her, and I smacked her in the nose, and she had blood all over her face and everything. And that was a complete accident. But she always reminded me of that when I used to go to Isha.
Did she stay away from you from then on?
Soon after that, she moved to Australia with a boyfriend, so I don't know what happened to her.
Do women often do that, move to the other side of the world to stay away from you?
Sometimes.
And on that bombshell, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with you again right after this. Take care.
It's So here we are trialling the Axie Sport 250 open ear headset. It's really useful because they don't actually go in your ear, they just rest on the outside, so you can still hear your surroundings. So if you're out on the jog, you can hear any cars coming past. If you're out on the canal, you can hear any cyclists. It's really useful if you're with people. You know, if you want to listen to music, listen back to what you've recorded, you can still listen to other people's input while you've got what's happening played. They're really comfortable, you know, they're really sturdy, really designed. They don't move while you're running, they don't bounce up and down like other wireless headsets do. So yeah, they're really good in that sense.
So welcome back to what is now part 4, but in reality, when you watch it, part 3 of tonight's 22 Dropouts, where we've had to say goodbye to Sam because he's on early start tomorrow, and I have mucked up his night completely by forgetting to record part 1. So Sam, I humbly apologise, and I am half a job, Bob, and you can rest assured that I will make it up to you in 2 weeks' time when you come over for the Scarborough 10s. Now, joining us tonight is Quicks, all the way from Kenya, who has quite rightly stopped his video so that we can hear his answers, which is a bit shame, really, because we would love to see his video face as well when we ask him tonight this or that. So, by the magic of TV, I'm going to put Quicks' picture next to mine. There you go. So, Quicks, we've got a series of questions for you, and they're very simple. They have a yes or a no answer, or a quick answer A or answer B. So if I were to say to you, your favorite color is blue or red, you would say
no.
Mate, stop fucking about now. You can only choose one of the two, all right? So if I said curry or kebab, you have to choose one. So curry or kebab, what would you choose?
Curry.
Right, okay. So now that we get the idea, we're going to ask you a series of questions. Now, I normally would ask one of our panel members to put 90 seconds on the clock. However, I fear tonight, with Quicks' internet connection, that's not going to be appropriate. So we're just going to race through these as quickly as we can and see what happens. Please pray for us, cross your fingers, and wish us good luck. So, Quicks, if you're ready, your first answer in each of those: sauna or ice bath?
Ice bath.
Fish or chips?
Fish.
Ketchup or brown sauce?
Ketchup.
Netflix or Amazon?
Netflix.
TikTok or Tinder?
None of the above.
Cardio or weights?
Wait.
Xbox or PlayStation?
None of the above.
Golf or gym?
Gym.
Flip-flops or sliders?
Flip-flops.
Oxfords or brogues?
Oxford.
Good answer. Blondes or brunettes?
Both.
Boobs or bum?
Both.
Both again. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Ale or lager?
Both.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
7s or 15s?
15s.
Ooh, Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Pass the ball or run with it?
Run with it all the time.
I knew that. And the final question, bacon sandwich or sausage sandwich?
Bacon?
You don't have to answer like it's a question. Yes, it's the right answer. Well done. So you can turn your video back on now, mate. In the worst ever this or that we've ever seen, we've got the answers from Quicks, and it's now time to psychoanalyze his responses. And even though we said turn the video back on, we're still waiting for the Kenyan internet to catch up. So ice bath rather than sauna. Is that just because you live somewhere hot, or do you actually like an ice bath?
Maybe because of the environment here. It's sunny most of the time throughout the year.
But I'm glad you went with fish and not chips, because you're a healthy young man. But you did go for ketchup and not brown sauce. Is that because you don't get HP sauce in Kenya?
Never heard about it.
I think when we all go to Kenya next year, we should all take him a bottle of HP sauce and see how many of us. It's a bit like those tour things, isn't it? When you're a tour virgin, somebody gives you something, you've got to get through security and onto the plane and the other side into the games. I think we should all carry a bottle of HP sauce in our hand luggage and see if we can get through security. What do you reckon, Jules?
Nah, I'm not even a fan of sauce. Can't be arsed. I'll take vodka.
You take vodka. Yeah, they'll let that in. Now, I don't agree with you not knowing what TikTok or Tinder are, mate. I think it's only because you've got shit Wi-Fi that you don't know, or that you don't want to incriminate yourself.
I never use any of them. I've never used any of them, TikTok or Tinder. I know them, but I'm not in them at all.
That's not the point of the game. The point of the game is to embarrass our guests. That's why you have to choose one. You haven't really got the idea of the game yet, have you?
Okay, I'll get the drift now.
Glad you went for flip-flops, although we are umming towards sliders in between games when you take your boots off.
Right answer. Stop talking shite after Bob.
No. You see, at the weekend, take your boots off halfway through the day. I don't want to take 2 pairs of fucking socks off so I can put my flip-flops on.
Flip-flops every day.
Saying that, I was with the referee this weekend who did wear socks with the big toe so that they could wear flip-flops. You heard it here first. Now, again, Quicks, I think you failed to grasp this game. Mm-hmm. Because when we said blondes or brunettes, your answer was?
Both.
And we said boobs or bum, and your answer was?
Both.
So what we've established from Quicks tonight is he's not fussy.
No.
No. Fair enough. I think Phil will be unhappy with you saying Coke, but I understand. Ale and lager rather than ale or lager. If you're going to screw with my questions, that's the answer to do it on, and you did it the right way. So I'm happy with that. Now, you went for Nike, even though I keep seeing you wearing Adidas during the week.
Those are just gifts.
They're gifts, are they? And of course, you're going to run with the ball whilst eating the bacon sandwich, which is exactly the right answer. Now, what we've decided, looking at the psychological profile, is that you're a complete rugby player. So that's good for this show. You've come out as nothing else. You've not come out as a gentleman or a thug or a Neanderthal. You've just come out as a rugby player, which is at the top of the tree, just above gentleman. So that's great. Now, we do have one other question for you. Have you ever heard of a little quiz called Snog, Marry or Avoid?
Snog, marry or avoid?
Yes. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay. So let me just clarify one point. Do you know what a snog is?
A kiss.
Yes, a very passionate kiss. So
yeah.
We're going to give you 3 people, and there are 3 choices. You must snog one of them, marry one of them, and avoid one of them. And you must give us your reasons why. And tonight, Quicks in Kenya, your 3 people for snog, marry, and avoid are Hamish Watson, Rassi Erasmus, or Cheslin Colby.
How do I choose that? I'm not into men.
Right answer. However,
I'll avoid all of them.
Yeah, you really don't get this game, do you? So, although that is the right answer, you must now, if you're forced to, there's a gun at your head, gun at your family's head. You have to choose one to snog, one to marry, and one that you would avoid.
Okay. So maybe marry Rassi, snog Colvin, and the third guy, avoid.
Yeah, always avoid the jock, mate. Always avoid the jock. Sam will tell you, you always avoid the jock.
Especially with that haircut.
Especially with that haircut. Of course, you're going to marry Rassi because he's dead famous and got lots of money. And Cheslin Colby, well, yeah, for whatever reason. Now, Julian has another adaptation to this game, Quicks. I'm sorry to say this, but same 3 people, and Julian is going to ask you to choose in a different way.
It's no longer snog, marry, avoid. The game I used to play when I was a little bit younger and drinking in bars was fuck, marry, and kill. Which one would you fuck? Which one would you marry? And which one would you kill?
Fuck, marry, and kill.
Yeah. To be honest, normally we play it with girls, but
okay. Fuck all of them. Marry Rassi and kill Colvin.
Hashtag, you heard it here first. And on that note, I think it's a great place to leave part 3 of tonight's show. Say good night to you all. Say thank you. Quicks, you can turn your video back on now so that you can wave, because we don't have to see you and hear you at the same time, which is where your internet really screws up. Time to say good night to you all. It's been a pleasure having you with us tonight, and we look forward to next week, where I will press record earlier than I did tonight.
And get some gas in for your Barbie.
And I'll also buy some gas for the Barbie as well. I won't be eating my dinner while I'm doing this either. So thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. It's been great having you all on. Loved every minute of it. And we'll catch you next week. You take care. Good night. Bye-bye.